Now. Hi, everybody. It looks like we have nearly everybody in the room. 6 French players, 5 Japanese, I believe is the head count. We should be getting started shortly here with our winners finals matchup between Japan and France. With most, if not all, of our perspective on Colossus for the majority of this match. Really excited to see the French lineup transpire. Oh, actually, we might be able to have another stream. We'll see. But for now, we'll go ahead and cast Colossus, who's been like I guess the more reliable French player in the lineup. Actually, another Japanese player dropping out of the lineup in the room, at least right now. But on the note of lineups, can at least discuss
Indeed.
some lineups we're seeing right now. For Japan, it's Monar, Moa, Kusan, Siatyo, Gizok, and KF25. And as we've said before, various times, multiple times in the cast, Monar and Kusan are the first 2 names that jump out at you, but names like Moa and Gizok and Siatyo, these are players that have been playing for Japan throughout the World Cup. They've had a fairly balanced roster throughout the entirety of it, so not really a surprise to at least see these names pop up once again.
I'd say it's a very strong Japanese lineup right now, because there's been a couple matches where players like Monar and Moa, they haven't played the past couple, I don't think. So it's nice to see them show up for this one. And it seems like both teams are bringing out very strong lineups in general, so it's going to be interesting to see how this match transpires.
Yeah. Kamek, DM Sabas, Daniel Colossus. I like that rhymed. And Demon. The one name from that French lineup I don't regularly see, or at least that I don't normally associate with, just because I haven't seen them so far in the cast, is DM.
Daeum, yeah, he's been around for a very long time, and he's proven himself to be an extremely capable player in things like MKU and past matches in the World Cup. Well, I don't think he's been around too much, as you said, so far this year, but yeah, he's definitely one to look out for. If he's able to get to the front, he's a very fast player. So
I mean, as everybody would kind of be at this point in time.
Yeah, but you have some players who are more capable than others at the front, and some who are, their role is more so to be in the pack. I think if I was to look at France's lineup, can you put it up again real quick?
Yeah.
I'd say players like Sibos, Daniel, and Daeum, they're probably more likely to try, and Demon actually, they're more their front runners. You know, to be honest, all of their lineup is able to run really well. I'm not really sure who exactly is the player with like the most pack player out of that, because it's kind of difficult to tell.
Yeah, no, I mean, at the stage we're at, it's going to be very hard to find a player that isn't like accommodated for, the bracket phase of this tournament, and someone that wouldn't be ready.
Yeah.
I mean, with Mario Kart 8 being the game, it is really on the shoulders of every single player to really step up and get points for their team. And I think, I mean, you mentioned that, and just saying there's not really a player that sticks out as a weak link for them. And we'll see if that is truly the case as we are getting started here. Tracks coming out. And France seeming to opt for Wario Stadium instead of the reset track we all come to know and love. And it's going to go ahead and pick Wario Stadium to start this one off. So yeah, France and Japan. We've got the next 12 races to see what transpires and how it transpires. good luck to both teams as this
Looks
surely
like-
should
looks
be a
like-
good match.
Looks like Matthew instead of K-Mac, by the way. So
Okay.
okay, I probably look to see Matthew to be a sort of pack runner, but
Okay.
we'll see here.
Yeah, I think France having top 4 to start off with, so the very obvious pick for them. And maybe able to take advantage of it. At least Colossus not able to. He was one of the few French members to start off not in the top 4, actually starting off in 6th, 7th, 8th, those kind of grimy middle positions. So for him to end up in 12th place, not too surprising, but you do see Dame with him as well. Ooh, falling over to that Piranha Plant as well. He's going to have to send that one forward and see what the future lays for him. At least that future seems to say that Japan holding bottom 2 right now by quite a margin. And in the meantime, France carrying top 2 before Japan seems to have seemingly recovered, as we can see in the mini-map. 3 Mortons hustling behind. Now 3 Mortons hustling behind first place. It looks like France's second place has now dipped out. And Daniel and Colossus and Team France seem to not have been able to use that good start they had. Everything kind of seeming to fall at the wayside.
Yeah,
going
if
into the
you
second
fall to the back here, it's very difficult to catch up. So it's best to try and make sure you don't get hit at the start. But unfortunately, Kodos here, we see him in 10th in the second lap, and this golden will prove to help at some point, but it's just kind of, there's not really too many good places to use the golden on this track.
And by good places to use, of course, like we mean, it's not gonna be like, what is it? It's not gonna be. There's no like spots to use to cut and like shave off time by other routes. Of course, Wario Stadium. There's nothing really. There's no shorter routes, and so really hard to catch up in that sense. And we've been able to see that with Colossus in 10th place since the beginning of the race, and not too much happening. Maybe able to shave off some time and get into 9th. Yeah, it looks like he might be able to do that, but I don't think it's going to get... Nope, it goes back into 10th after Japan gets a better item box than he did, which was, well, none. And France, I believe, losing this race, or not, top 4.
Yeah.
Okay,
Wow.
I didn't catch the Mies catching up on the mini-map until the very end there. But for a race that France starting off on top 4, you would hope they get that kind of start.
Yeah, it's a very good group front run track, Wario Stadium, so I'm not surprised to see France end up with a top 4 here.
Yeah.
And an extremely good start for them.
So after one race alone, leading by the tune of around 20 points or so. I wish my math was good enough to cover it, but unfortunately not. And so for France, eyes on the next race, of course. As they might say on the French copy of this game. Melody, oh no, they're actually going to go for the Mount Wario pick, okay. Interesting.
Okay, again, Mount Wario is another good track to front run, but it looks like it's getting dry desert.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for Japan, pretty key there. Kind of needed at this point in time. You really don't want to let France get too ahead of themselves. Of course, Japan, like they're known and loved for being one of the most consistent and best teams. Period, without any asterisks claims attached to it. But you don't want to see them lose that kind of momentum and reputation they've kind of developed for themselves over the past couple of years. Maybe see them kind of reset that, as Colossus has been once again sent back to the back.
Yeah, at that point on this track, though, it doesn't really matter too much because you have quite a few places you can use cuts to catch up very easily. So,
all right, getting 2 streams to start off with it. In 10th place right now. Honestly, a lot of French members kind of around him seeming to have shrooms, or at least a lot of players in general.
oh, that's good.
Dropping him.
One thing that people like to do sometimes is just go in the cut with items, and especially at the end there, and it can be really killer if someone has like triple reds or triple streams or a piranha plant. They can try and disrupt play as much as possible.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like you're gonna be able to disrupt players, but only like there's only so much you can do first and even second lap.
Yeah.
Looks like he tried to wait out for that item box just there. Maybe he's trying to get Japan's number. Not too sure of that.
Oh, and he drifts the wrong way.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, drifting the wrong way. Gonna cost him in this French bottom 3. In the meantime, though, France do have top 3 before that shortcut part of the map. Now top 2 in 6 or so. France have a lot of questions to answer going into this last lap for how they might come back. And honestly, that possibility is still. What the hell was that shell? Okay.
It looks like someone might have disconnected.
Yeah, maybe a France disconnect going into this last lap. Colossus being sent back to last, and is his teammate actually holding onto a blue shell. And he's going to be stuck with that for the remainder of the last lap.
Looks
Probably
like
getting bottom spot still.
Looks like France do have top 2 right now, but will any of the Japan players take the cut?
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like it won't matter. But it looks like Japan getting a lot of middle spots right now.
This Bull Bill actually doing a decent amount. Nobody behind him actually taking the shortcut. Super surprising. But France is actually able to nab the top 2 before Japan gets all the spots behind it. I still think it's a pretty neutral race, if not positive for France. But
I'd say that might be Japan might have got a slight victory on that race there.
Yeah. Won't bet against you on that. My odds are not in my favor. 91 for France after 2 races, meaning they are in the lead by a slight margin, around 20 points or so. So yeah, a lot of the majority of the lead they built up over that first race, not really changing too much in the score at least. 91 to 73 being your score right now.
It's still close.
Yeah.
Like, I'm expecting it's definitely not going to be easy for France to hold on to this lead here.
Yeah, this lead probably don't think it'll last for that amount of time. Quite honestly. Electric don't the pick, but there's 11 racers in the race, so I expect it to restart.
No, it won't restart.
No, it won't restart. They're gonna have to rock with Baby Peach for this one. That's Daniel actually DCing.
Yeah.
That might have been the player we saw back there.
Yeah, I think
chilled
it was.
out at the beginning of the last lap.
Okay, but Electrodrome, over the past few months, it's sort of come into favor for if you have majority middle spots, because to start here, a lot of players are able to draft up at the beginning. And if you're able to get into the front, most of the time, unless something happens, like you get greened on this straight here, which you see Kebos up right now, or
Ooh, banana
you get blue shelled.
Super close to.
You're able to hold the front.
And Colossus at the opportunity, he gets to actually drive up front, actually getting sent off, actually driving off on his own and then getting sent off on the respawn. So both a mishap and complete unlucky bump on his part will send him back into last place. And I mean, Mario Kart 8, definitely a game of momentum, both on a micro and macro scale. If you do make a mistake, very often, very likely you'll see another one, a second mistake being handed to you right after. And it's exactly what happened to Colossus here in plays. Now, Electrodrome, really solid pick for Japan, like as you were saying. Able to have those spots draft up into top spots, and that's exactly what Japan did after the start. They had a lot of spots behind top 2 from France, and they have seemingly been able to get into those top spots with Japan having 1-3.
Oh.
Having triple reds behind Japan right now might be able to do a solid number onto them, as he'll be able to take out maybe 2 players from the Japanese side. Yeah, 2 players going down, and France moving
3
up into a lot of
actually. He managed to get all 3 reds off.
Okay. So 3 from Japan actually going down. Now France looking pretty on the come up here. I mean, they have 3, 4, 5. Japan, as the results are right now, they will win the race, but plenty of action to come here in this last stretch. 3 shrooms for Colossus chained into a bomb, and that should be able to at least secure those spots behind.
Yeah.
For him. No, the bomb not actually landing at all, and Japan must have read that item on the minimap and tried to take really safe lines, trying to accommodate for that bomb being tossed out behind them. And a red coming up potentially for him. No, not for him exactly, but France actually able to shroom up into 2-3. Able to finish off with 2-3-5 for now. As Japan, I don't know about that race anymore. I think this is gonna go actually just not able to tell.
Pretty neutral race there.
Yeah.
Of course, the streams at the end can be very, very helpful if you're close enough to the front of the pack.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what we saw there. We saw 2 French members breaking up the Japanese top 2.
And of course, the Baby Peach not really faring too hot on that one.
Yeah.
Not being a detriment to the French side, but they still do not too bad.
Yeah, considering it was 5v6 race, and it was Japan's pick, they did well enough.
131 to 115. They did drop the ball slightly, but only really slightly.
Yeah, it was a very even race.
Yeah.
Dolphin Shoals, okay. And Japan going Bowser's Castle. That's not a track you see being picked too often by teams anymore.
That's not a track you just see in general.
Yeah.
And they're gonna get their wish. France, I'm really excited actually just for this race in particular. Oh, Kamek subbing for Daniel. What is that? That's super odd. For a French side to be able to have to sub out their. I don't think is it even arguable to say that Daniel's their best player? Would anybody throw a fuss over anybody saying that?
He's definitely, I'd say he's definitely he's in the upper half of France's best lineup.
It is over the course of the winners bracket run, been able to perform really remarkably for this French side, even when the rest of the team hasn't been able to. So, in my opinion, just to not see him in the roster is super odd for me.
Yeah, give me just a second.
Yeah.
Okay, so his average right now in the World Cup is 34.78.
Yeah.
So that kind of goes to show that he's been in the 3 wars he's done. He scored 91, 88, and 134. So, and 134 actually coming off against Team USA. So
yeah,
it shows that he does put in work for his side. And yeah, they're probably going to miss his presence up the front, but at the same time, there are times where he can be laggy and disconnect at times. So
yeah, that is true.
I suppose they don't want to take the risk in seeing that happen too much, and that's why they brought Kamek in. And Kamek himself, he's a very experienced player, so
yeah, super seasoned player across Mario Kart 8. I mean, and Mario Kart Wii, if you wanted to bring that up, but really, Mario Kart 8 in particular, he's shown himself to be perfectly fine on it. Was actually, we thought was going to be a part of the original roster to begin with, so for us it's actually not too surprising, but going into lap 3...
This is the first race so far that we've seen Kurdos be able to stay at the front for most of the race, which is nice to see for him. CBC being one of those tracks that if you can get to the front and you know your lines on it, it's fairly straightforward to be able to stay up there unless you get blued. So.
Yeah, I think we'll be seeing France keep this top 3 that they have, and really not much at all really happening for Claus throughout the entirety of this race. He's just been starting off in the top spot after surviving the opening bends.
Yeah.
Much like a lot of the game really is, just surviving a lot of the bends, able to drive up in the front for a long time, and that's what he'll do. He'll take it. Him and Sabas will finish off in top 2. Japan finishing off in the 2 spots behind it, and France following up well on this spot, being able to surely finish out this GP win with what has been a successful GP for them. Top 2, 5, 6 will be the finish of it.
Wait, what? Oh, it was Matthew. Oh, I was so mistaken.
What?
I'm an absolute idiot. Oh my god.
What?
Okay, so I thought Daniel's me was Daniel, not Star XLX. It was Matthew.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I'm such an idiot right now. Okay, it's Matthew that got subbed out.
I didn't even correct you on you, so I am also guilty as charged. I just thought it was super odd to see, and I just kind of didn't believe it, but I guess I went with it. So I'm equally in contempt. But yeah, France still holding on to that GP victory. That actually might mess up my scores a little bit. My precious scores, but oh well, to hell with them. Any surprises from this first GP?
I was expecting Japan to take off to a small lead here
Right.
from the start, but France have done well to stave them off for now. I suppose it does help that they got their first track pick, and they were hosting, so they were able to start off with a really good top 4.
Yeah, that kind of momentum really carried them through a lot of it. And they were actually able to build up on their lead by the end of the GP. So super positive things to come and see from this French side. Leading by a total of 26 points after 4 races alone. Of course, plenty of the match left to really play out. A lot in store for us as we gear up for, well, an appropriate Japanese response. I would assume this is the first time that they've been really challenged this much, and for this to happen from not even one of the top seeds.
Well, they're the third. France are the 3rd seed.
No, I thought Canada took the top spot in the group.
Oh, sorry. I was talking about. Sorry. Yes. I was talking about the initial seedings.
Oh, right. Okay.
It
No,
kind of gets confusing between both that seed and.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. We're going for some cheese here. First race of the second Grand Prix. France getting a decent spot in some of their starting positions, but honestly, Cheeseland will be a toss-up. This top 2 can be really approaching, especially if there are mistakes made like that. Colossus, questionable.
Like, Cheeseland is one of those tracks that, yeah, it's very easy to catch up if you have shrooms, especially the cut at the end.
Yeah.
But I also find if you're able to, you're able to front run it as well. Like, it's one of those catch-up tracks that kind of can work both ways if things go your way. So, Kolos there, he's going to scupper the chance to maybe stay at the front. But we'll see him try to get shrooms here. And this is a Firefly behind him.
Yeah,
and he's going to get hit.
Some further back. No, and you mentioned it. Very good to often just like for players that do have shrooms, this track is just very generous to them. And in that sense, a very deliberate choice after, I mean, of course, after an initial mistake, Colossus actually just very deliberately, instead of just staying content with the middle spot, goes way back into 10th, 11th.
He'll probably look to chain this star here so that he can take the cut and get shrooms and still and be able to be far enough away still to have those shrooms, because actually he might be able to chain here. No, okay, he keeps them for now.
No reason to really. 2 shrooms, still plenty to really take him through this cut and get into the next item box. And with how not far first place is, I don't think you should expect any future shrooms to come. France having 3, 4, 5. Japan having.
Looks like Japan have top 2. Did someone get hit, or is
Yeah,
that's just lag? That's just lag actually.
No, okay.
They still have top 2. Yeah, I was expecting that shroom there.
3, 4, 5, 6 for France. Oh, the shot coming in and getting it on the sand. Japan moving up at the very end, but I don't think it'll be enough to disrupt these top spots. And France finishing off with the spots they really seem to have a grip over for the latter part of the race. Getting a lot of middle spots, I think taking the edge on that race.
9, 15, 17, 42 race for France there.
Yeah, so tie race. In that regard. So able to keep their lead for now and really keeping up this momentum, really surprising and solid for us to see.
I think it's out of.
Or sorry, 42 to 40. So a slight race win actually. Being able to grow their lead to 28 points after 5 races alone. France actually able to do a lot in this momentum department, a lot more than you would have initially expected going into this match, and they're making sure we all know it.
Yeah, I see Mount Warrior pick coming in from Japan there. Oh, but okay, never mind. It picks Yoshi Valley, is that? Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be the Yoshi Valley pick coming in for them. Yeah, Japan with the top spot start will seemingly benefit from this, but
Yoshi Valley is one of those tracks that it kind of... It's good for a lot of different spots, really, because there's a few routes that you can take, and I don't know, I'd say it's quite a neutral track in terms of spots. It can be picked in many situations, so...
Right. No, but I mean, I don't know, I feel like oftentimes, just from what we've seen and experience in general, top spots, I mean, if I see a top 3, I at least see a top 2 after a lap. It hasn't happened this time. Actually, completely, this Japanese side has been kind of shifted completely from their top 2, and they've seemingly traded spots with what they started off with.
Yeah, that's kind of what I mean, like, because depending on where you go, it can be quite easy to get hit. Like, if you take the bridge or what have you, it's very easy for someone to just throw up a green or something and get you.
And even the bumps, like in situations like these where you haven't seen items hit too many people so far, you'll get a lot of clusters onto the spots like the bridge and really sensitive spots. And you'll see how players oftentimes opt for the various routes they can take, but in the cases that they don't, you'll see some sides pay for it. And so far, Japan actually paying for it in that opening part of the second lap, having their one top spot being sent down, and now France having a...
I see a lot of Miis in the upper half.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'll be looking for the Miis that are perhaps closest to the Japan members to try and slag them as much as possible, slow them down so that the streams won't have much of an effect at the end of the race.
Yeah, and I mean, for him to have this... Oh, goodness, okay. Blue Shell coming in might be the start of something to see here for Japan, but honestly, it's going to be really tough for them to catch up. Solid lead has been gained here. That lead might be able to leverage some better items for this middle pack that are hoping to approach. And honestly, I expect Colossia to get past extremely easily, especially with these... No, the red's going to break on something before him. Maybe more reds to come his way. Maybe more reds. No, that's going to be the last of them. As France getting, I think, top 2, 4, 5, and really not slowing down at all in this lead that they have. Top 3, 5, 6. It's a massive race for them, and that's yeah. I don't think you can argue that's probably their biggest race of the entire tournament so far. The entire race of the biggest race of the entire match so far.
You could arguably say it's one of the biggest races of the entire tournament for them so far as well, because it's extended their lead at the halfway point against Japan. It's going to be quite difficult for them now to overturn what's turning into like a 35, 40 point deficit.
And Japan, I don't think have ever been in this kind of situation where they're kind of caught on their heels and not really. They're forced into the position that they have so often forced into their opponents. Can we get this track reset pick? And are we going to be able to actually take advantage of it for a long period of time? They're going to go ahead and pick Excite Bike, which is a map we've never really seen them have to pick in the past before.
Yeah.
So for this to actually take place is actually really meaningful for France and Japan alike. 99 points after 2 races alone. It seems to indicate they have on the lead on this GP as well. 99 to 65, 2 races alone.
Yeah. So their lead is about 50, I'd say it's about 50 points right now, I think. Let's just get the scores.
Yeah.
Or somewhere around that margin.
So obviously, going Excite Bike, Japan gets their way. Still, I mean, you'll get the kind of odd, nutty situations that like a front run is possible here. And France, of course, obviously really hoping for that. Sebas in first place, hoping to take off. And try not to come in too much contact with his teammates here. Kaloss barely able to hang on to the momentum and kind of say, hey, now let's not slip away too much into the grass here. And really a game of inches and meters and centimeters for that matter. Is really want to make sure to not get too much in each other's face as they race alongside each other. And that's the big some of the bigger concerns here is just bumping each other, not necessarily into the mud, but into the momentum that if you get bumped right onto a ramp, the momentum that will be carried over into the potential grass for you is pretty likely.
It can be quite costly at times.
Yeah.
But yeah, they managed to stay out of each other's paths, give themselves enough space. And we see them kind of build up a little lead here compared to third. And
Yeah.
again, I know I can't. I'm seeing mostly. Wait. On the minimap. Oh, sorry. Okay. So a lot of Japanese members in the middle there.
Yeah, and he's going to have to maybe fight them off. Sebas might actually take the hit here. He's slipped into the third place for now, it seems, on the map. Slowing down to the Warrior, who is slowly but surely catching up on this first place. Who won't get redded right now. But Sebas getting bumped or something to that degree. He's being sent completely back into a middle spot. Blue Shell being sent out to maybe come in contact with a Japanese player too. No, doesn't get onto anybody just yet. But Japan actually finishing up in top, sorry, 2, 3, 4, and maybe more than that. And this track's reset pick seems to have worked out for them. 2, 3, 4, second through seventh place. That's a massive race for them to be able to reset everything. And for Colossus to be able to stay in first place, equally massive for this French side.
Yeah, because if Japan were able to get the top 6 there, if Kodos got knocked out at first, that would have been absolutely killer. And
honestly, we might be
still,
something
but
like
still,
tied,
that was exactly the race that Japan were looking for at this point in time. Like 2 through 7, yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely cut down the lead.
I'm expecting a DK jungle, potentially.
From...
Actually, no, not at all. I mean, DK jungle from Japan, maybe. But even that's like debatable. I was gonna say for France, and they're actually gonna pick it. Okay, they have a lot of confidence in
yeah, because
that's a place with a lot of weight. Sorry, okay, they're not gonna agree on the DK jungle pick. So yeah, okay, they're actually gonna go high rule, seemingly. And I was gonna say I got the positions for whatever mixed up in my head. But if it goes DK, no, okay, doesn't go DK jungle. Actually, not able to catch a glimpse of it, but I think it's gonna go high rule. So for high rule,
well,
should be able to
find out here. Yeah, high rule. Yeah.
High rule, France should be able to catch up a solid bit on. They don't really want to leave their first place to dry too much. That DK jungle pick would have actually left them to dry really badly. So I like...
Well, I mean, you say that, but the pit DK Jungle is one of the tracks where middle spots can get bumped around quite a bit at the start.
I think he would have got bumped too. I think second or third place would have drafted him as well. And obviously there's a good amount of situations where first place can get away with it. But I don't know. Like, yeah, middle spots can get bumped, but like everybody from second through seventh place, I don't know.
Not everybody, but
yeah.
Especially for like 2, 3, it's not exactly ideal. And we see it's very easy to get coins here on High Wall Circuit, as we see Kolos with 10 before the first lap's even over, which is going to help a lot in maintaining his first place here. I see once we've seen Kolos get to the front, he's managed to do pretty well in staying there. So we'll be looking to see if he can carry on, or whether the Japanese members... You see Green's coming up, it's going to be close, but...
Oh, I mean, they're still following him, but I don't think they're really going to catch up to him. Unless I might eat my words. No, okay. Not just yet. So, Colossus, I mean, after...
He needs to hold the fort right now.
I mean, yeah, and it's... Yeah, for the lot of Japanese spots behind him, he's going to be able to at least start backstabbing them. Maybe with some caution, of course. He's going to have to be getting, looking at items on his gamepad very frequently if he wants to try backspamming. But for Colossus, he actually not getting a good start in this match really at all. In GP1, not really faring too well for him. We often saw him in spots as like 10th place very often. But as soon as he got into first place, really carrying this the momentum of this French side, really solely by not solely by himself,
that was a French shock. They got
yeah.
them before the boxes, so that could have completely turned the race around for France here.
Star dodge for France. It looks like they might be able to move into second place. Yeah, moving into second place pretty easily. Japan following up at 3, 4, 5, but their second place actually gets hit off, and that shock may have proved for not. The blue shell coming at the very end, and maybe able to land on in time. No, I don't think so. We'll have to see. I don't. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it does too much for them. Japan holding on to a lot of the spots behind first, but Colossus doing really well for this for his side.
Yeah, as we saw there, it's just France never really got an opportunity to break into that 2 through 7 And even then, the shock, like you saw, it just didn't help too much. Even though they got them before boxes, it seemed like the people who were able to get up there just kind of got hit out as soon as they got up there. So that was very unfortunate for them.
162 points for France in this Grand Prix alone. It should be at least, I think, am I correct?
162 to 166.
Yeah. So France actually able to take the slight lead to really reset some of France's most massive races of the tournament, really. And the only difference from this GP from the last, if not the slight variance in score, is the momentum that Japan now has behind first place. This next track can really set the tone for what's to come and as the end game result of this match, really.
Wait, you said France got 162 in this GP, right?
Yes.
Okay. So they're now at, yeah, okay. So it's 339 to...
Yeah, 339. 339 to 317.
So still a slight lead for France here going to the last GP. I see they're going now the Royal Raceway pick. We saw, I think we saw Japan go it last time.
Yeah,
Japan
actually, yeah, Japan was the one to offer Royal Raceway now, but they're seeming to have some, not able to maybe agree on a track and time. I don't know if they're gonna, okay.
Piranha Plant.
I haven't seen Piranha Plant in a while.
Yeah.
I don't know. Kind of in the same vein as Bowser's Castle.
Well, okay, it doesn't get picked anyway.
Okay, it's gonna the Royal Raceway in the sea of Piranha Plant is gonna actually be sneaked in there, and so for France to maybe bump and cause some havoc in the spots behind first, really important for them. They do have a lone spot like 6th, I believe. I want to say to really cause some havoc for this French side to hold on to this lead.
Okay, trailed someone, so
yeah. Curious to see. I was curious to see if he was actually going to be bumped or not, but he doesn't get an item in first place. Might be a
well, he doesn't have. Yeah, his banana got rid of with trading someone. So, but it looks like he's able to survive at least for now.
Red shell coming from
No, it's coming for second.
Okay. Second place being taken out. Japan having 2-3, but beyond that, France really using this track well so far. Colossus been able to chill in first place and get away with getting rid of a lot of Japan's spots behind first place.
Well, we see Japanese members again, like in most of the top upper half, apart from Kolos.
Yeah, after lap 1, it seemed like France was catching up, but after the second lap has yielded no such results. And able to somehow get back into 2, 3, 4, 5, and for some reason is keeping on. These top 5 spots have been staying the same for so long.
Yeah, there's not been too much of a change up as we see someone from Japan kind of just sneak up there. So Kolos has to be careful.
He's gonna, yeah, this is
he has to watch out for this lag. Yeah, taking the safe lines here. I don't blame him.
Red shell coming up.
Or if they chain reds on him, this could be killer.
That's a chain red. Yeah, that's gonna be it for him. Maybe he gets onto the boost pad, and so he's actually able to stay in 3rd place. But for him to be in the middle of a top 4 potentially for Japan, really worrisome for him.
Did that Japanese member just snipe himself?
Triple reds behind a lot of 3 Japanese players, but it's not going to be enough to get rid of them. The game says no. Colossus able to get 3rd place, and Japan getting top 2, 4, 5. And maybe even more than that. Top 2, 4, 5, 7. And that's got to be really disappointing for this front side who's now got to play defense. And this could be really scary for them. Japan, of course, we said it before, not really being in this situation ever before at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is going to be, I mean, this so far has been really interesting to see from us. The second that they get a solid race going in their favor, not only do they keep the spots going, but they're able to grow from it, which is the first time we've seen that in this match in particular. 59 points for the Japanese side in that one race alone. So really, I think actually Japan from that race alone able to get into the lead, 59 to 23.
Are you sure? Are you sure on that? 15-12.
They got top 2, 4, 5. I mean, I'll double check. Yeah, 52. So 52 to
30. 52.
52, okay, 52 to 30. So
That's
yeah,
tied. That's tied now.
Tied exactly then. Yikes. That's all I've got to say. Yikes.
Yeah, as you like the past few races, the momentum has kind of swung in Japan's favor as you see them dominating most of the top spots apart from first. Obviously, Kodos got pushed out of first there, so
3 races left. Of course, if this result does stay remain at a tie, we will go into an overtime of, I believe, a Grand Prix to determine the winner. But of course, we don't really see too many of those, if any at all.
yeah, we haven't had that happen at all so far. So,
yeah. So for this to happen right now, definitely a possibility. But I mean, it depends what the momentum they have, the positions they have. Colossus needing to hold this first place for them, really important. But beyond that, maybe even more important. Oh my goodness!
Oh.
Nearing up onto that Japanese player, I don't know. I think is it okay for me to say that's a misplay? Because I mean, maybe he was looking at his.
Nah.
No, even then, I think playing so aggressively. When you know that first place has a green shell. I don't know.
There's a blue out. I don't know. He was doing fine. Like, he wasn't trading, and it didn't seem like anything bad was going to happen. So I can see why he was trying to maybe push into first, but as we see here, a lot of
French map. Yeah. Okay. Good. They're actually able to do exactly what they needed to do to catch back up. And I was actually really impressed with Colossus being so patient to not bring out his red in the opening parts of this lap, because it seemed like he was going to get redded, and he was in the pack of a lot of French players, and it's really easy for someone to panic and kind of bring out their red, and at that point really screw up a lot of their teammates. He doesn't do that.
It's the fireball
coming out. Oh, but the bomb landed onto 2 French members, and that might do a lot for Japan's side here. Yeah, they're able to move up into the top 2.
He's able to red one of them.
Able to get rid of one of them, but oh my goodness, this isn't lap 3 to see here. The Bulldog not quite landing onto him just yet. France really needing to catch up and get at least some hold of the positions. Oh, fireball being sent back to at least 2, 3 French members. And now Colossus being sent back from 2nd to 10th for the first time in a while, and not. That's a weird ass drop from the top part of the map that we see there, and I think he's going to end off into a bottom spot here. But for Japan to stop and finish and to potentially finish in top 3, super good for them.
We'll have to
Bullet Bill coming in. Star as well activated. That's an 8 being activated for Japan, and he's not going to spend that immediately, but the Reds are coming in here towards the France, and I think maybe able to get him on the line here. Able to actually get 6th place from that Bullet Bill alone. Japan taking that race, I believe.
Yeah.
1, 3, 4, 7, and 8. And I think they should be in the lead now after what has been a 5-race comeback for them. Solidly executed by them.
Yeah, like Sunshine Airport, it didn't look like it was going to work. It was going to work. It didn't. There, sorry, words. It looked like it was going to work against Japan's favor there for a time, but they managed to get back into the front towards the latter half of the race there. Oof.
Yeah, that was butt clench inducing, if I do say so myself.
And now Japan have opened up a 12-point. It's like a 12-point lead after that race.
So France, I mean, they've been put into this position before. Trailing behind USA, they're going to opt for the Mario Circuit 3 pick. Sorry, not Mario Circuit 3. The GBA Mario Circuit pick.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they showed it very well. Extremely well in their USA match. They're able to come back in general. But the question is, I suppose, are they able to do so with a time restraint? 2 races left. Race 11, we are approaching race 11, and now France have to respond appropriately. They could be the first team to ever beat Japan.
Have to wait and see here. Well, not the first. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think. Well, UK beating them in 2014, but that's 2 years, dude.
that's right.
And that was actually only one leg of it, and then UK getting beaten in the grand final. So I would say Japan in general haven't lost a set before.
Wow. Okay.
Okay,
But
actually,
they,
no.
they
okay,
still
actually,
got knocked down to
Yeah,
losers.
they did actually. Yeah, you're right.
So,
That's from
but that was
2014.
2014.
I'm not
so
going
that's
to
2
count
years
it.
ago.
I'm not going to count it because it was 2 years ago.
That is pretty much the only time they've lost
Yeah.
in any time at all during the World Cup. So,
Yeah.
obviously a very, very dominant force.
I was actually really scared for Colossus there, because that banana snipe actually would force both him and the Japanese player into that tight line.
Did he
and
get
could
blued? Did
easily
he get blued off?
That is something you really don't see. is getting blued off there. France actually able to get into top 3, I think, but for GBA Mario Circuit, not. This lead is not certain, especially with the pack that we do see. One Morton has been able to move up into the top 4, top 5.
But we're seeing
France,
a lot of Mii's up
if
here.
they are able to keep this, they should get into the lead. Will they be able to keep it though? A lot of Japan, you see the map has been seemingly put away, cast away into bottom spots. This Japanese player for them, Gizog, needs to be able to stay up here. Hasn't been hit by the boomerang. For him to get first would be absolutely massive for this Japanese side to stay in this lead. Coin coming in for Colossus behind him. No red for Gizok here, and I think he's going to remain at the second place. Banana's being sent out. Oh, they land onto him! And that's going to be France finishing off, and I believe top 3 for them, yeah. And they should be able to get the lead by maybe 10 points or so.
Oh, that bottom 2, though. That bottom 2.
Bottom 2, okay, maybe not so much. Maybe not so much. Tough call. I mean, yeah, obviously France able to catch up a good bit. But now, oh, yikes. Might be. France now doing... that's the race exactly that they needed going into this last race. These spots for them very much in their favor. Super scary things to see. 449 to 453. Japan leading by 4 points alone. Can France do it?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. This is super. Oh god. Okay, the winner of this, of course, goes on to play in the grand finals. They get the buffer of a bracket reset. And you definitely want to see that for whoever really gets it.
Oh, Shy Guy Fool's pick. Yeah. A lot. I know this is one of France's favorite tracks. With players like Kamek, who've had a long history with time trialing it and whatnot. Oh, but it goes France's pick.
Oh my goodness, okay.
Japan's pick, sorry.
And that pick could be really, really important here. If it was Shy Guy Falls, I would have been tempted to say it's over.
Yeah, because you see Star XLX, I think he's...
Because the amount of French players that race extraordinarily well on Shy Guy Falls cannot be understated.
Yeah. So we go into the last race here.
Yeah.
I mean, only 4 points in it. This can go either way. And this track can go either way as well.
They have to be really careful to not bump each other here. I mean, this map in particular with the positions they have.
Yeah. Okay, good. We see them getting off the hops right.
And this is something where something like lag, like Daniel's lag, can actually hurt France if it doesn't go their way.
Yeah, but it seems he's doing fine.
Yeah.
He's just chilling up here. So that's all right for now.
Okay, I hope. And obviously this part of the map isn't the area of concern for Colossus and Daniel. It's more so the opening part, the first half of it.
Yeah. I'm intrigued to see if there's going to be a shot, because from my own memory on this track, there's been quite, like, it seems that shot tends to appear on here more than other tracks. So it's going to be interesting to see if we do see one. But
okay. Colossus,
I'm not sure though.
Losing a bit of ground here. Gonna start dragging out that green. France do have top 2-4, so really promising for them. But this is a massive pack behind them. Not really too much you could say for what's to happen. And honestly, with the pack as it is right now, it's gonna be super hard for people to get shrooms. It's gonna be a massive cluster behind them. I expect the spots behind the top 2 to really get knocked out.
We hear a Morton coming up behind.
Yeah.
This is very close, but I think as it stands right now, if France can not get hit, it looks like they may take the win here. Oh, the Fireflower
come out, and that's 2-3 getting sent out. Japan getting the spots behind first place. Colossus, what is your response? Triple shrooms is the response right now, and it looks like everybody's far enough from first place to be able to start getting these shrooms and really start catching up. So how you start executing on these shrooms, where you start choosing to use them.
This is vital at this point. He has to break into the top 3 here. He gets
but
ready
knocked
though.
Out. France, do you get an item box? No, he's not able to get an item box, but he does have plenty of French members beside him, around him. Red's thrown onto them. Red Shell gets France knocked out of him. Shortcuts may be taken for some of Japan, and I think Japan might be able to take it here, as they do get the spots behind first. That should be Japan's match, and Japan will be able to move into the grand finals, as France seemingly able to have a good lead on Japan for the majority of the match, all taken away from them going into the GP3. Congratulations, Japan, for coming up on the last minute there. I felt like it was commentator's curse, because as soon as I said that France need to make sure they don't get hit in this lap 3, Kolos got hit out in the top spots. That Fire Flower was absolutely killer. It enabled Japan to break into their in the top 3. And man, so close for France right there. Like, they were half a lap away, potentially. So, yeah, so with that being said, Japan will move on to the grand finals. They play tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time. And France will be sent down to losers bracket, which actually takes place in approximately 1 hour. Or sorry, no. They play in approximately 2 hours versus the winner of USA versus UK. And that'll certainly be an interesting match to see. But for France, really unfortunate to see. They seem to almost have been able to send Japan their first loss in over 2 years, which would have been really impressive to see. But even then, really impressive to see them giving the amount of contention they did. Yeah. So hats off to them in that regard. Before this match started, I was hoping that it would be close, and France put up a really, really good fight. And that's if they manage to get through the losers bracket back into the grand finals, that's very promising indeed for them to force the bracket reset. But well, yeah. That's we are going to take a little bit of a break before our losers semifinals matchup between USA and the UK. I'm really looking forward to that match. Yeah. Jake, do you want me to be honest about what I think is going to happen? Go for it. Go on. You guys are going to get throttled. You reckon? Yeah. I'm not so sure. I don't know. I'm not sure. Look, Jake, you have $15 you owe me. Is there any chance you want to maybe take a chance on shortening that debt? Sure, why not? Okay. $5. Okay. All right, cool. $5 UK wins. Yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm going to be saying $5 if USA wins, but yeah. I get it. Honestly, it should be. Like I think USA will take it by like 100 points, maybe. Oh, it depends how it goes. It depends how it goes. Well. Okay, yeah, that's pretty. Thank you for the insight. Yeah. Beautiful insight by your one and only JP Stev Stevens 94. Oh my god. Okay, yeah. What I meant is just kind of how the momentum goes. Yeah. Obviously. Just like France had a lot of momentum in the first 2 GPs, and Japan kind of just took it away like nothing. Yeah. We'll be back in, well, I guess we'll take a little bit of a break. Like, we have a good while to wait. So if you guys want to chill here, some music, feel free to. We're going to have a lot of good matches to come. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you guys are just coming in, you missed out. Just yeah, FYI. You really did. You really missed out. France nearly beating Japan, but Japan, of course, Japanning and winning. We'll be back in, well, probably 50 minutes or so, as we'll take a little bit of a break, get ourselves some breakfast, and get ready for this next losers semifinal matchup to happen between USA and the UK. Should be a really interesting matchup to see. We'll be back in 50 minutes. Go away, if you will, but come back, please.